What's up, YouTube? Larian Studios have started work on Baldur's Gate 3 DLC, but then decided to turn around and cancel it. There will be no Baldur's Gate 4 from them as well, and the studio was elated. As quoted by their director Sven Vic, it wasn't really coming from the heart. So during a talk at the recent Game Developers Conference 2024, the director came out to announce that Larian Studios would have no part in DLCs, expansions or sequels in this highly regarded RPG game. However, when they spoke recently to various reporters and journalists, they said that they actually began work on it previously but decided to give up on it. Because, quote, of all the success, the obvious thing would be to do a DLC, so we started on one. We started even thinking about Baldur's Gate 4, but we hadn't really had closure on Baldur's Gate 3 yet. And just to jump forward on something new felt wrong. We had also spent a whole bunch of time converting the system into a video game, and we wanted to do new things. There are lots of constraints on making D&D. 5th edition is not an easy system to put into a video game. We had all these ideas of a new combat we wanted to try out, and they were not compatible. When it came down to making the DLC for Baldur's Gate 3, Vic says that Larian was just kind of going through the motion. I quote, "You could see the team was doing it because everyone felt like we had to do it, but it wasn't really coming from the heart, and we are very much a studio from the heart, so it's what gotten us into misery, and it's also been the reasons for our success." He has also spoken about various challenges, and when he claimed he went for a holiday and came back and told the team that he felt they shouldn't be doing Baldur's Gate 3 DLC and Baldur's Gate 4, the team was elated. It's kind of like a closure on Baldur's Gate 3, and I think I can kind of understand what or where he's coming from, right? Because Baldur's Gate 3 is nothing short of the magnum opus that Larian Studio has created recently, and the problem when you felt you have done the best work you have done to date is to try to go beyond that, and there's always the fear that you will never be able to outdo yourself in this particular niche, in this particular franchise. So just to take that stress off, you go off and do something else would seem to be a more palatable choice. So when questioned if the next thing that the team is interested and excited about would be the Divinity Original Sin 3, which was what put Larian Studios on the map, right, for Divinity franchise, he neither confirmed nor denied it. So I think you can read into this as saying that they're still undecided on this. They probably have some good ideas, some new interesting things that they're excited about, and it's a matter of whether it can slot into the Infinity or it's better to just have a new packaging all over. I think this decision will come in due time, but not now. But they did come out to confirm that this new project will dwarf the scope of Baldur's Gate 3, which is quite difficult to imagine because we all know just how expensive BG3 is right now, right? So at the current moment, they have almost finished just adding little cosmetic stuff to BG3. We have new endings, new epilogues, new kissing scenes, new animations, and I feel these are things that they have wanted to put in originally but don't have the time to do so at launch. So now they're just finishing and wrapping it up and subsequently moving on to the next big project that they intend to do. Now, one way or another, I think BG3 has really left a mark on the landscape, and Larian Studios will forever be remembered for being the guy that delivered this incredible game during this period of time where there are hardly any other parallels or comparisons to it. As for the new game, Larian came out to say they figure out the first act. If it's anything like the development of Baldur's Gate 3, it will probably be years before we ever get to play it. So that's all for this video today, wrapping it up. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.